Is Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, wearing her Camp Invention hat this morning, Peggy Bohlin back with us. Good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. You know, it's funny. I think I've talked to you about this before, but because you're my mother and you share a same first name, and it's, to me, it's kind of unique because Margaret. And I don't know where in the lexicon of life this happened, but Peggy is a nickname for the name Margaret.
Right, it's an Irish nickname.
Yeah, I never knew the connection, but and so my mom was Margaret, and she went by Peggy. But the funny part was when I grew up as a kid in Waldorf, and this was like 80s time frame, we lived in a cul-de-sac, and there was 3 houses in the cul-de-sac. There was ours, and then the 2 neighbors. All 3 of us. My mother was Peggy. The wife at this house and the wife at this house were both Peggy's too. All 3 Peggy's in one area, and all were Margarets that were Peggy.
Yeah, and it used to be a very popular name.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was in elementary school, there was 2 other Peggy's in my class.
Yeah.
Now, you don't hear any
kids. It's pretty rare.
I think there should be a campaign. There should be more Peggy's out there.
Yeah.
Let's bring it back.
I still never understood how they got Peggy from Margaret, and I don't.
I do have a theory, but I can share I'll share it
another
with you
day at another
after
time.
the program.
Very good. Because I've never made that connection. I asked my mom, she's like, I don't know.
My theory sticks, though.
Gotcha. Okay. For folks that aren't aware, let's probably start there and talk about Camp Invention. How many years now have you been doing Camp Invention?
I think this is my 15th.
15th year, and it's an amazing program where it gives kids an opportunity to get exposed to STEM and STEM-related projects in fun ways. It's not, they get to learn the boring formulas and things through fun, exciting things. They put the STEM to practice. And so
it's all hands-on.
Yeah. So for them, it's for the kids, it's building toys and building robots and breaking down a microphone or something like that and trying to understand how it works. But in actuality, these kids are learning engineering skills, they're learning math skills, they're learning science, and they're learning, technical hands-on things. They're really learning all these cool things under the guise of a fun project.
Right. And there's 4 modules, of course, this year, and every year is different.
Yeah.
And Camp Invention is a national camp. There's only over 1,400 in the nation.
And this is put on by the people
National Inventors Hall of Fame.
Yeah, these are the folks like when you they're the ones like back in the day. Do you remember those commercials? Like, do you have an invention that you would like to get a patent for or something?
Right.
Are these the same people that the same organization that did?
I don't think
back
the
in the
same
day?
organization,
okay. But same kind of thing.
Right.
And
yes.
So they put this Camp Invention out to get more kids exposed to STEM and things. At the same time, creating hopefully our next person that creates the next great widget or the next great device that society can't live without. That's the idea, is to create the people, the will in the people to make the next cool thing for us. And so
right, exactly.
That's what it's all about. Now, the great news is this is geared primarily for elementary age kids. Mm-hmm. For your early middle school, do you still have like the CIT program and everything for them?
Yeah, the leader in training.
Yeah, LIT, that's what you call them.
It used to be CIT.
Yeah, well, in my Boy Scout days, we had CIT, so I have that nomenclature in my head.
Right.
I got to get it out of there. But yeah, if you're interested. So talk about specifics as far as ages and all that this is open to.
Okay, so Camp Invention is June 6th through the 10th. Mm-hmm. It's going to be at the First Methodist Church this year.
Okay,
new location. Which is on the corner of 2nd and Pennsylvania.
Yeah, First United Methodist Church here, beautiful facility. They got like a whole school there, really. It's
really nice.
Yeah, it is.
And I talked to the ladies there, and they were all for it, which is lovely, and they're very supportive, which is good.
Yeah,
like last year's was too, And so it's for children entering kindergarten through 6th grade.
Okay.
And you mentioned the middle school program, that's for kids entering 7th through 9th grade.
Gotcha. So 6 on down, kindergarten, is I guess, as a camper in the program.
Right.
And then an LIT for your 7th and 8th graders.
7th, 8th, and 9th.
7th, 8th, and 9th
going
graders.
into those grades.
Cool. Very good.
Right. And the cost of the camp did go up, as everything did. Inflation is killing us now.
But the good news is everything the child needs to participate in the camp is included.
Right.
Like the various projects, which we'll talk about here in a bit, they'll work. That includes all of the material for that, the curriculum at the program. Does it cover snacks and things too, I think, as part of that?
No, those are donated.
Gotcha. Okay. But with your admission, they get that stuff. So,
Right.
Yeah. Very cool.
Which is nice. And T-shirt, of course.
Absolutely.
Everybody
And the
gets a T-shirt.
And of course, yeah, the projects they get to take home and keep. There'll be a presentation, graduation ceremony at the end that the families participate in and kind of see the fruits of the labor for the week with their children and things like that too. So it's all part of that. So.
Right. We actually don't have that program at the end anymore.
Oh, no? I'm
because
you lies.
COVID changed things.
I gotcha. I forgot about that.
It was okay. I mean, so we just had the full day on Friday instead of,
okay.
So
they're just in there doing their thing all day Friday. Cool.
As they should anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, why cut it short for a program?
Sure.
It makes sense to me.
That's a valuable extra hours that they can work on.
Exactly.
The robot or whatever they're working on that time. So
exactly.
Very cool. Like you said, this is geared for elementary, and of course it's all age appropriate. So the kids that are kindergartens are going to be working on projects that are more to their level. Your fifth and sixth graders are going to be doing something a little bit more advanced to their levels. So.
Yes.
But it's a lot of fun. The kids get to interact, and so you get that other great side of kids together, especially, granted, kids have been in school for a year now, but it's been a different world. We're still playing catch up with getting kids to where they need to be on the assessment levels as far as reading, writing, and math and science
socially.
and socially as well. And that's where this helps. Because they're getting the STEM and they're getting all the technical side that we're talking about, but they're also getting the ancillary stuff, the stuff that will serve them long past they're into their adulthood. Things like working in groups, interacting with people that you never met before, talking, teamwork, skill, just communication and how to interact with a group of 3 people or 5 people in a project together. All those things that you can't really teach your children, they just have to experience it. And that's where this Camp Invention brings all of that to it, on top of the fact, oh, by the way, they're going to get them into, learning about, rocketry or whatever the different projects are this year.
Right.
Yeah. Which kids love. I mean, that's the fun part. So let's talk about the projects. Let's talk about the different, what's the term you use?
Modules.
Module, that's the term I wanted to. Let's talk about the different modules that are going to be at this year's camp.
Well, I love this flyer this year. And there is a code on here, by the way. Save $25 with the code, and we'll talk about discounts.
And we'll get all about that here in a little bit. Yeah.
But anyway, this flyer basically shows a typical day of the 2022 program.
Okay.
And so the first one's called Robotic Aquatics. Campers create a habitat for a robotic fish, and they get a little robotic fish.
Oh, cool.
Complete with a symbiotic friend, and then take their fish home in its mini tank.
Nice.
So that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
That's, they're learning about habitats.
So in the tank, is there water?
I don't think so.
Okay, I didn't know if they were making
I'm not sure.
I was wondering if they had to make like a waterproof robot underwater to work in the fish.
No, I think if there is water, then of course the fish is water safe.
Gotcha. Very cool. I'm cool. That's cool. I like that. It's a neat perspective. So I imagine, obviously they learn about robotics and that side of thing, but they also learn about oceanography and water and fish and what fish need to survive, and more than just water and what's in the water they need. They probably learn a little bit of all that stuff. Yeah, very cool.
Another one is Spacecation. Of course, I like this one. Inspired by real space exploration, campers construct space packs and astro arm devices, kind of like the robotic arm.
Oh, cool.
What is it, Canadarm on the space shuttle?
Yeah.
Astro arm devices, mine asteroids, and observe ice volcanoes.
Nice. So they get to kind of do some of that engineering side there and create
there's the engineering, space engineering.
Yeah,
exactly.
and at the same time kind of pretend, because obviously they're not going to space.
No, but
that'd be pretty impressive. But
10, 20 years, we're sending astronauts to Mars. So
these kids that they learn,
these kids are the ones who would be going.
Yeah,
this
absolutely.
Generation.
If you're putting in the seeds, planting the seeds for
exactly. And this is a STEM camp, which science, technology, engineering, and math.
Yeah,
that's we're getting all that in here.
Absolutely. All right, so that's Spacecation. Let's talk about the next module.
Okay, it's National Inventors Hall of Fame's The Attic.
Okay.
Now, this one incorporates art.
Okay.
Now, sometimes you'll hear STEM, sometimes you'll hear STEAM.
Yeah.
And STEAM has the A for art.
Okay, so a little STEAM in this one.
Right. It's combining science and art to build their own robotic artists. Campers make spin art and learn that everyone can be creative.
Nice. Very cool.
So that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's great. And then using technology to make creativity. And so melding the worlds together, that's pretty cool. So,
Right.
Yeah, I like that.
Right.
And then there's one more module.
Right. And the other module is Marble Arcade.
Okay.
Campers get their game on as they experiment with the fun of physics
Okay.
and engineering to build their own mega marble arcades.
Nice. So basically, they probably got to get the marble to navigate through something, and using physics and everything else, they learn, various things like gravity and
Right. And it's kind of
how
like
that
Rube
works.
Goldberg.
Yeah.
I mean, if you know anything about Rube Goldberg,
Yeah.
his creations are amazing.
Yeah, so think of that. So that'll be a lot of fun. So maybe getting them in the bug for that and seeing who know. I could see some kids easily coming out of that, and they're creating like you see those big domino trains and things like
Yes,
that.
I
I imagine they probably will pique an interest into some of that kind of stuff when
Right.
you go through that there too.
So the modules this year sounds a lot of fun. The
Yeah.
name of the camp is Adventure.
Yeah.
And so it just, to me, these modules are like, oh, cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. The kids, I guarantee what's going to happen is your kids are going to go to the camp, and then when they come home for dinner that night, they're going to be running 1,000-mile-an-hour telling you about how they made this cool fish tank or the robotic arm or any of these cool projects they get to work on this week or during that week. And that's going to be great because I think because that's what we want. We want these kids to come out there and then come home and tell you all about it and get and make it part of that family experience. So I would love to encourage the families when the kids get home that night to incorporate and talk more about what they did that day, help cement those lessons in their brains a little bit by talking a little bit with them afterwards, and maybe even creating your own things based off that. You're like, oh, if you love that one, maybe this weekend we'll go out to the park and do this or something like that.
Right.
Use that to create maybe your own inspiration for your families to have some fun and do some educational fun activities, things like that.
Right. And we also, of course, during lunch, we have the games. The kids eat lunch and then they go out for games, or they go out to games first and then eat lunch.
Okay.
But the games are organized play. So,
Gotcha.
I have my assistant director who's in charge of the games, and there's lessons, and they're fun. The kids are running around. They're outside as they should be.
Get a little active.
Getting the vitamin
energy.
D.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So when they get home, and after they talk to you about everything that's going on, they are so exhausted. They go to bed early, and the parents are like, score!
Yeah, and then you got a nice night of movie night or date night.
And
or
that's
whatever
right.
you wanna do.
That's right. Because the kids are exhausted. I had especially the kinders and first. They're like, oh my gosh, that was so much fun.
Yeah.
But I'm really tired, Mom.
That's great. That's great. And hopefully, and I would imagine you're going to get a lot of maybe the kids that joined as kindergartners now are going to come back as first, second graders.
Right.
And come back. And each year is new. So
right.
if you went last year, it's all new projects, all new program than it was last year. So, and it is like that every year. So if you went years past, a couple years ago, depending on what year you started, you start as a kindergarten, you go 6-7 years doing Camp Invention.
Right. And they're all different.
Yeah.
And what's nice is, with that being said, it's just fun to see the kids, if they did start in kindergarten, going through to 6th, it's like, okay, you've been here every year, because
Sure.
kids love it, and they want to come back.
Yeah, and I imagine a lot of them are your own advertisers for the program. Where,
right.
They go and they tell their friends, oh yeah, we went and made this thing, and they're probably bringing some of their projects from last year to school and showing them off, some of the cars and things.
Or the microphone.
The microphone was one of them last year.
That was amazing.
That's kind of some of the cool stuff. Now, the camp, as Peggy said, will be June 6th through June 10th. The camp runs from 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. that week of.
Right.
Like you said, cost before the discount is $255. Now, do they still do the extended
Yes.
camp for some families if they'd like that as an option?
Right, and it starts at 7:30 and goes till 5:30.
Okay.
And it's an additional $80.
Yeah, that's additional $80.
You have to pay the person who's doing that.
Well, and but in all fairness, you're getting an extra 3-4 hours of curriculum kind of with the kids there.
Right.
It's a little less structured than the other, but as far as working on their projects, doing things that they probably didn't get to do during the day, they get to do that kind of stuff.
There's actually some organized
some extra activities that are part of that.
extra activities, so
Very
they don't
cool.
bring in what they had in the classrooms.
Gotcha.
But we don't have the extended day on the Friday afternoon.
Yeah, once it's done at 3:30, everybody's done.
We've got to clean up, and we stay pretty late to clean up.
Very good.
To make sure the facility is great.
Now, you heard us talk about discounts and things here. Early bird discounts, if those that sign up early do get advantages here. If you go to, I believe it's invent.org, right? Invent.org, that is the Camp Invention main website. Like Peggy said earlier, this is not just Roswell. They have camps all over the country. So it's a national, I believe it might even be international.
I think it's only national.
Just national. But
probably because of the cost of the boxes.
Yeah, I would imagine too. That could get, and I imagine
so many boxes.
Yeah, and I imagine supply and demand might get a little different when you leave our borders and things on what's available.
Right.
But if you go to invent.org and then you just type in there are things like find a camp near you, I think there's something like that.
Right.
You go and put in Roswell, New Mexico. You'll see all the information for the camp here at First United Methodist Church. And then when you go to sign up, if you use these offer codes, which we're about to tell you here, you can sign up here. I'm trying to look for the first one here. Is it
Explore 25?
Explore 25. There it is. Right
yeah,
there.
It's
snake
pretty big.
Me. I was looking wrong. So if you go to invent.org /camp, and then if you do it by the end of March here, you can save $25 using that Explore 25. You put that in the code. That'll knock $25 off of your cost for your camp. You can sign up all of that through online. Now,
or by calling the 800 number.
Yeah, or there's an 800 number that you can
800-968-4332.
Very good. Now, are you this year able to offer partial scholarships for folks again? Is that something you're
the green envelopes went out to our donors from the past.
Okay.
Just recently, but I had somebody send me a check. Before the green envelopes went out.
Okay.
Because for a donation for camp. I mean, that's how
they believe in it.
The public knows that I do Camp Invention every year.
Sure.
And so they're not hesitating.
They're not waiting
great.
for the notice.
No, these people did not.
That's awesome.
And people can donate online. It's easier if they contact me.
Sure.
Because then I can give them the code for our camp.
Yes.
Because if you just send money to Camp Invention or to National Inventors Hall of Fame, it'll go into the general pot.
Gotcha.
But if you have my camp code, then it'll go directly for my camp. Or I shouldn't say my camp.
But the Roswell camp in Roswell. You're helping all the camps if you go the other way. This one you're helping specifically for the local camp.
Right, which is good. Which is what we want.
and by the way, through the scholarships too, that Peggy handles that here locally through the thing. So if you need bigger discount than $25, need some more help there, we can do that. We can. We don't want money to be a hurdle here. We want opportunity for any kid that wants the opportunity to go. We're going to find a way to make that happen.
I do partial scholarships.
Yes.
Though. I don't do full ride.
She will do a partial scholarship for you because, like you said in the past, you want a commitment from the family because if they invest in as well, that makes sure they're committed rather than you giving them because what tends to happen when you do full rides, and I'm not saying this happens every time, but it's not as important to the family, and they tend to not go. Like they do all the work and got him in, and then they don't show up or show up 1 or 2 days or something. We want kids there the entire time. We want them to invest in the entire program from day one till that Friday when they finish up camp. And we want them to spend every moment of that having fun, doing these projects, meeting new kids, making friends, doing all the things that camp's about to get every moment of that. So that's why we want to make sure, hey, even you will help them out as much as you can.
As much as I can, yes.
But you want them to have some skin in the game too.
Right, right. Yeah. And I've been awfully generous, because I can be, because of the amount of people who donate money to Camp Invention.
So, folks, please keep coming in with the donations.
Keep coming in.
The more money that's donated, the more scholarships that she can give. And who knows, maybe we get to a point where we can help every single child that needs money or needs some assistance there. Thanks to the generosity of folks here. But
I've helped families with 3-4 kids. Yeah. I mean, it's like I make it happen to make sure every kid gets to go.
And I can imagine that, you're a family with 3-4 kids and all 3 kids are in the age and go to that.
Yes.
That's a lot of money. That's, say 200 and some a pop, that's or 250 a pop, that's you spend almost $1,000 month.
Yeah.
You're all said and done here, depending on how many kids you have.
Right.
Yeah.
Although if you look at daycare or something else, it's pretty much the same cost.
You're right. That and I guarantee you won't get the amount of program in
Right.
daycare that you're going to
Right.
get here. You may get a little, but nowhere near the level of what's happening here. It's structured camp from the moment they show up at the church to the moment they're going home with their parents.
Right. And I also, of course, need high school and college kids who can volunteer.
Yeah.
I need at least 10.
Okay.
And I don't have anyone at the moment committed.
So if you're interested, maybe you're pursuing degrees in social work or any of the science related stuff, and maybe
Education.
use this, education, any of these fields, or you just want to get involved and help out. This is great experience there for those kids. So for those younger adults here, I should say, I say kids, but high school and college age students. Come out and be honest. This really will help you if you're really. Like if you're a high school student and you're like, I want to go to college and do something engineering related or something, maybe this will kind of cement that, or maybe you decide, what, this is not what I thought it was. I need to pursue a different angle or whatever. But either way, it's sure a lot easier to figure that out now versus 2 years into college when you spend a bunch of money and everything else.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, and of course the LITs, and that's for your 7th, 8th, and 9th graders. Sign up there. That's a little bit.
It's $100 cheaper.
Yeah, it's $100 cheaper on it, and then
there's no scholarships for that. No partial scholarships for them.
Now, and you're in essence, you'll do some of the activities and things like the campers do.
Oh, yeah.
But you're also going to be expected to be a leader in the room. You're going to have to help maybe navigate some of the programs and help kids pass out. Whatever. You kind of got to be kind of the leader in the room sometimes, and that's what the LITs
you're getting mentored by the teachers and by the leadership interns.
Yeah.
And leadership interns are the high school and college kids.
Gotcha.
So you're learning leadership skills.
Yeah. So then maybe in a year or two you can volunteer and be a full counselor.
Right. Right.
What's the best way for the LIT? Can they sign up through the invent.org there?
They need to contact me as well, because then I can give them, because they can't just sign up. I give them an actual site to go to.
Okay.
Where they sign up along with the volunteers
It's not
I
through the
have.
regular.
Right.
Gotcha.
Along with the teachers. And
okay.
I mean, there's a lot of people who are hired through this. So.
And I imagine there's background checks and the whole nine that's done on those folks like that. So that's why that goes through a separate deal there. So,
yeah.
Gotcha. Which anytime you're dealing with kids, that's just 101 stuff. So.
Right.
But again, please get signed up here, and probably, like I said, for the scholarships or LIT, call or email Peggy is probably the best way to get a hold of her or get that done. You can reach out 575-420-9955. Again, that's 575-420-9955, or email pbohlin2016@gmail.com, and it's BOHLIN. If you're looking to spell Bohlin there. And if you don't remember any of that, you can always call me and I'll give it to you, or shoot a message. Do you have a Facebook page for Camp Invention locally, or is it just the big website? Okay.
But it's, the big website really is the best.
Invent.org is the website.
Or just Google Camp Invention.
Yeah, that'll get you there too. And if you kind of want to do it like as a general cursory, what's this camp all about, and talk about the history behind it, the invent.org will definitely give you all that information, how this camp came to be, how it's grown over the years, and where it's at today and what it's doing.
We even have little YouTube videos about the modules.
Gotcha. It's really is cool. I don't care. I really don't care what your child's into. I think they're going to have fun doing this stuff. Even if they're if they're into crafts and arts and stuff, they're going to have a lot of fun there.
Right.
Even if they're into video gaming, and you know what I mean, that they don't do, what do? They sit and play video games all day. There's going to be the right things in this program that's going to pique interest and have them, who knows? Maybe next thing you know, you've got a kid that comes out of this and they loved doing one of these projects so much that they start, building things or making their own models or creating their own, doing like things when we were kids, when you built stuff, or like model airplanes and stuff like that seemed like kids when I was growing up, all of us had at one point. Mm-hmm. Now you can't find one of those to save your life in a store. You know what I mean? And,
true.
And I think there's something to those kinds of projects and those kinds of, because they center on creativity, they on you working on something that's your own thing. And I think they gain a lot of that aspect here through this stuff too.
Definitely.
Yeah. So again, Camp Invention is June 6th through 10th. You got a little time. What's the drop dead? I know you'll take kids up too, but Ideally, what's like that final date you want to make sure all your registrations are in by?
The week before would be ideal.
Okay.
Because that's when we are getting the groups. That's when we have to call, get a hold of all the parents. I send emails telling what group their kids are going to be in.
Okay.
I mean, it's push at the very end. I mean, if somebody wants to try to come and register their kid the day of, I have a feeling because of the fact that now the mask mandate's gone and things are more relaxed and it looks like, COVID is kind of in the, I don't think it'll ever go away, but at least it's not like,
it's not,
people aren't freaking out about it.
State anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that we're going to get a whole lot of people signing up, and the earlier the better, because when we reach our cap, which is 140 kids, which sounds like a lot right now,
but it goes quick. I mean, that'll fill up
that
quick.
isn't even a full elementary school. I mean, if you think about it, that's like 3 grades worth of one elementary school.
Yeah.
I mean, once you get those kids, it's done. We are not taking more
And you can't
students.
make any more. It's just
Nope.
That's
Nope.
the parameters.
That's where I'm cutting it off.
And I would imagine too, if you'd like one of the partial scholarships, the sooner you apply, the easier it is to make that happen.
Yeah.
So, because what the idea is, we've got some great benefactors that have made donations already. Hopefully, we'll get more people keep that continuing.
Right.
But when it dries up, it dries up. So
Right, exactly.
So,
and I've been lucky every year.
yeah,
I mean,
been very
for the
lucky.
last few,
That hasn't been a problem yet, but
No.
at some point it might be, and we want to make sure everybody that wants it has that opportunity. The sooner the better you do that. So,
Right. And I really try to help every person because circumstances change for everybody every year.
yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, one year you're in the green or in the black, sorry, in the green, and another year you're in the red.
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
know, and so you don't know what's going to happen.
Life happens.
Life happens, exactly.
Absolutely. And again, of course, if you want to sign up through the website, invent.org/camp, and then you get to look, it'll say find a camp near you, put Roswell NM. And then when you fill out your application, there's going to be a spot to put in an offer code. If you put in Explore25, and you do that before the end of March 31st, you'll save $25 off the total camp fee, and that's through the website. That's not having to call Peggy. If you want to do it on your own, sign up through there. You can do it right through that Explore 25. But if you want the partial scholarships that are more than $25, you need to get a hold of Peggy direct. Also, if you're interested in being an LIT, 7th, 8th, and 9th graders that want to be a part of this, you need to call Peggy.
No,
direct.
LITs, they can just
go
sign
right
up.
to the
Yep,
camp.
Yep, because
Counselors
there's
and stuff,
nothing
they
I
need
can
to
help.
go. Gotcha.
I can't help with the LITs at all.
Okay.
So the parents need to sign
So
up.
you need to go to event.org for that.
Right.
Counselors, volunteers need to
Right.
go call you direct.
Right,
That's my
right.
mistake there.
And if anybody wants to donate to Camp Invention, any new people that we're not getting the green envelopes to, they can call me. It's probably the best.
Yeah.
Call me or email me and say, hey, where can I send this money?
Absolutely.
And I do not from anybody take cash.
Yep.
It's always check, money order, or credit card.
Makes sense. Keep
Yeah.
it
Above board. Yep.
exactly. That way there's a paper trail for everything.
That's
that
right.
goes.
That's
Yep.
right.
Absolutely. And again, if you need the partial scholarships, want to volunteer, or like to come by with a big suitcase full of checks
That's right.
or money orders, you can reach out to
Totally
Peggy.
okay with that.
Reach out to Peggy at 575-420-9955. Again, 575-420-9955, or shoot her an email, pbohlin, Bohlin 2016 @gmail.com.
And I do want to mention any amount towards scholarships, any donations are great because we've had it from $25 to $1,000.
Yeah, every little bit will help.
Every little bit counts.
Yeah,
Because it just adds up.
absolutely. So and it all get used. Whether and even if all the money for this year doesn't get used, it rolls over to next year, and they'll use that money for scholarships for next year. So have no worry. Every single penny that you donate will go to make sure a kid can enjoy Camp Invention this year. So
Yes, that's my plan.
good deal. Is there anything we missed?
I don't think so. I think we got everything.
Okay. And then, of course, invent.org is the website. www.invent.org/camp is the direct sign up, I think. But if you go to invent.org, you can learn everything about Camp Invention, including what's on tap for this year's, but just the whole history of it and everything else.
Right. And people need to contact me sooner than later.
Yeah.
So
Don't
that
wait.
we can figure this out.
I figure if you're waiting until May time frame, you might already missed out on your opportunity. Now,
Right.
Now, I know it's end of February here, and you're thinking June's a long time away. But,
Right.
But right now
I wouldn't
is the
wait
sweet
too
spot.
long.
Yeah, and like I said, to take advantage of the $25 discount through the website, you got to get that done before the end of March.
Right, exactly.
Otherwise, that opportunity goes away for
Exactly.
you too. So, very good. Well, thank you, ma'am. Appreciate the visit as always.
Thank you.
And of course, if you have any question about stuff, you can always, you're in the library from time to time too when you're out and about. So you always pop in there and see her working doing STEM related stuff. She'll be happy to help you with that stuff too. So
Yep.
she's always got STEM on the brain.
Yes, always. It seems to be, man. And my brain stem and everything.
That's right. She's got her brain on the stem and stem on the brain. So. Thank you, Peggy, as always.
All right.
We'll see you next time.
All right.
All right, it is 9:51. Let's do a